The movie began with a couple arriving in the woods to see a bear. They got out of their car and looked around. The man took his gun in case of unforeseen danger, but the woman insisted he put it back in the trunk. Then they ventured into the woods, ignoring a wrecked car nearby. As they went deeper, they didn't see any wild animals, which puzzled them. The man found a large footprint on the ground and grew suspicious. Just then, the woman spotted a bear in the woods and started recording a video. However, the man noticed the bear didn't seem normal and decided they should leave immediately. The creature they thought was a normal bear turned out to be a werewolf and began hunting them. While escaping, the man fell into a bear trap. He desperately asked his wife to return to the SUV and bring his rifle.
That rifle's the only chance I have. You have to get it.
The woman rushed to the vehicle, but meanwhile, the werewolf brutally killed the man. The woman tried hard to flee the woods, but sadly met the same fate when the werewolf crushed her head in his giant hand. The scene then shifts to two hunters, Coy and Casey, arriving for a hunt. Coy told Casey he saw something moving in the woods, but Casey dismissed it. Coy took up his crossbow while Casey took a gun. They followed bear tracks in the freezing snow. Coy mentioned the bear seemed to walk on two legs, but Casey suggested it might be Bigfoot. Following the creature, they encountered an armed man wearing a ghillie suit.
Whoa! You, get over by your friend.
The man ordered them to raise their hands and show their teeth and gums. Frightened, the hunters obeyed and explained they came from the city just to hunt. The man didn't listen and quickly drove them out of the woods.
You want to get out of these woods alive? Go. Run. Go!
As Coy climbed into the car to leave, unaware Casey was attacked and killed by a werewolf outside. Hearing his friend's cries, Coy rushed out and also fell victim to the werewolf. Days later, a car pulled over in the same woods. Inside were Mark and his girlfriend Sheila, who had come to spend the weekend in a cabin. They waited for their friends to arrive. Soon, Dante and his girlfriend Jennifer arrived to join them. Dante was confused about the sudden fog in the woods, which had been cleared just 10 minutes earlier, but he ignored it and got out of the car with Jennifer. They all waited for their other friends, Clinton and his girlfriend Michaela, who had not arrived yet. Mark, Sheila, Dante, and Jennifer moved to the cabin and entered it.
My parents want to sell it.
Sheila explained to the others that the cabin was built years ago by her grandparents. Her parents now wanted to sell it, but she refused. Jennifer found the cabin strange after noticing a bear skin on the wall. Sheila explained that bears protected the woods from evil spirits, so her grandmother had killed and skinned this bear. Elsewhere in the woods, Clinton and Michaela were on their way to the cabin. Michaela was visibly annoyed about coming to the party with Clinton's friends, feeling she was only invited because she was his girlfriend. Due to the fog, Clinton accidentally hit a man with his car. They got out and checked on the wounded hunter wearing a ghillie suit. It was the same armed man who had driven the hunters away earlier. The man smelled awful, but Clinton tried to help him regain consciousness. Despite being hit by the car, the man was still breathing. Clinton suggested taking him to the hospital, but Michaela pointed out they didn't even know where they were. Clinton found the man's gun and realized he was a hunter. They then arrived at the cabin with the wounded man. Everyone rushed outside to see what was happening.
Is he okay? I think he has a concussion. Your nurse, it wasn't my fault.
Just get him inside.
What is that?
They helped Clinton bring the man inside. Clinton checked the man's pockets, found a security guard ID, and learned his name was Gavin Woods. Suddenly, Gavin regained consciousness, startling everyone.
This is going to be some weekend.
At night, Jennifer looked out the window and quickly left, unaware that a werewolf was lurking outside the cabin. Jennifer needed to use the restroom, but Michaela rushed in, urgently needing it too. Hence, Jennifer put on her coat, took a lantern from Sheila, and went outside to use the restroom built nearby.
Thanks.
She entered and began to relieve herself. Sheila played music in the cabin and began to enjoy it with her friends. Soon, Michaela came out of the restroom and joined Sheila. After relieving herself, Jennifer moved to get out of the makeshift outhouse, but noticed someone outside locking the door. She thought it was her boyfriend, Dante, teasing her. Holding a lantern in her hand, she opened the door and looked outside, but all she could see was fog. Suddenly, a werewolf appeared in front of her, prompting her to rush back into the outhouse while the werewolf tried to break in. Jennifer was utterly frightened and continued to call Dante for help. The menacing werewolf tried to bring down the door to get a piece of Jennifer's flesh. When it couldn't, it tipped over the outhouse. Horrified, Jennifer continued to scream for help. Not long after, she sighed in relief when she heard Dante's voice outside. Dante, Clinton, and Mark rolled up the outhouse and helped Jennifer come out of it safely. The terrified Jennifer rushed to the cabin and lashed out at Dante, asking where he was when she needed him. Dante replied that it was she who told him to wait inside the cabin and that she had only been gone for 5 minutes. Jennifer decided to leave in the middle of the dark night because she thought she had almost been killed by the animal outside. But Dante talked her out of leaving the cabin, saying they were safer there and the bear wouldn't come back. Jennifer claimed the creature was not just a bear, but something else. Clinton also supported her claim and explained that the creature didn't look like a bear to him because it was too skinny. In addition, it was standing up like a man and ran away like a dog when he approached it. Meanwhile, Gavin arrived, startling Jennifer. Gavin asked where he was, to which Sheila replied that he was in her cabin. Clinton told him that he accidentally hit him with his car, so he brought him to the cabin. Mark asked Gavin what he was doing in the woods, to which Gavin replied that he was hunting. Shortly after, fog rolled in and he got lost while looking for his truck. Outside the cabin, a werewolf was stalking Jennifer, but she was unaware of this. Jennifer was awakened by howling sounds emanating from the woods. Sheila asked Jennifer to calm down, saying it was just a coyote miles away from the cabin. Michaela turned on the lights and was startled when Gavin suddenly appeared before her. Mark told Gavin he didn't need his gun because none of them would hurt him. Gavin said he was not afraid of them, but of the thing outside the cabin. Clearing up the misunderstanding, Gavin revealed they were not dealing with a bear or coyote, but a werewolf. Upon hearing this, Clinton laughed while Mark said Gavin was out of his mind because of his concussion. Gavin insisted that werewolves were real and outside, but no one believed him. At the same time, a werewolf began to howl outside, making everyone's blood run cold. Gavin showed them a photo of his sister Jean and her husband Roy. He explained that 9 months ago, they came into these woods to photograph black bears but never made it home. Their SUV and partial remains were found a few miles from where he was today. Gavin was sure the werewolves had killed his sister and brother-in-law. Despite seeing the proof, Michaela and her friends were not convinced that werewolves existed and were currently outside the cabin. Gavin told them the werewolves lurking outside were hungry and knew they had 6 fresh meals. Sheila disagreed with Gavin and told her friends there had never been any werewolves or vampires in these woods. To make matters worse, the lights went off, plunging the room into darkness. Jennifer and Michaela decided to leave at midnight, but Gavin advised against it. However, the group of 6 friends didn't listen and left the cabin to flee as soon as possible.
Clayton's car is right there. The other cars must be...
Mark urged his friends to stay together and be quiet while reaching their cars. Soon, a pack of ravenous werewolves began to circle them. Terrified, the 6 friends dropped their luggage and pulled out knives to fend off the creatures. As they dashed to their vehicles, Clinton was caught by one of the werewolves who began to feast on him. Michaela rushed over to save him with her knife and managed to drive the hungry werewolf away by firing at it. Mark couldn't see his girlfriend Sheila, who suddenly emerged from the fog. He quickly climbed into his car and started to leave. Meanwhile, Dante pleaded with Gavin to open the door while carrying the wounded Clinton. Gavin let them in just as another werewolf rushed toward the cabin, shutting the door in time. Sheila and Jennifer looked out the window, waiting for Mark to leave in his SUV, but he was still struggling to start his car. Mark froze in fear when he spotted a werewolf creeping toward his SUV. Before he could escape, another terrifying creature appeared, broke the car window, and killed Mark instantly. Sheila, Jennifer, and Gavin heard the continuous honking of Mark's SUV and quickly realized he had been killed by the ruthless creatures outside. Inside, Clinton was severely wounded, and his condition was worsening. Jennifer looked outside and saw a werewolf stalking them.
Stay away from the window.
Will you cut the werewolf crap?
You know what you call
What do you think those things are, Dante?
Gavin warned her that the creatures were out for blood and told them to follow him if they wanted to survive. Michaela cleaned and bandaged Clinton's wounds. Moments later, they removed the bandages and were shocked to see that Clinton's wounds had healed miraculously. Gavin then asked the ladies to stay away from Clinton because he seemed infected, but Michaela refused to leave his side. Clinton began to lose color perception, claiming he was going colorblind. He then felt intense pain, and soon his eyes turned yellow like a werewolf's. Clinton stood up and snarled at the others, revealing he had transformed into a werewolf. Before Clinton could attack, Gavin fired at him repeatedly, eventually shooting him in the head. Michaela burst into tears over losing her boyfriend. Gavin asked them to dump Clinton's body outside so the werewolves would eat it and leave them alive. Reluctantly, Dante, Sheila, and Jennifer disposed of the body and hurried back inside. Next, Gavin asked Dante and his remaining friends to empty their pockets so he could test if any of them saw the world in black and white. With no choice, Dante, Sheila, Jennifer, and Michaela emptied their pockets onto the table. Gavin then asked Jennifer to pick an item from Sheila's pile and held it up for Dante to identify the color of the chocolate packet. Fortunately, Dante passed the test by naming the correct color. Everyone repeated the test and passed. After this, Gavin asked the group to cut their palms. To save themselves, each person cut their palm one by one.
It only took 10 minutes.
You can take that gun and shove it
Just a
up.
scratch.
When does it stop? You don't have to do this.
Yes.
Over my dead body.
I'll just shoot you in the leg. Either way.
Easy for you to say.
Show me. Hands up.
When it was Sheila's turn, she refused to show her wound. Gavin revealed he had become drowsy after she gave him an aspirin, and explained to the others that Sheila had brought them to the woods so her family could slaughter them, as the werewolves had already devoured all the deer in the area. Michaela forced Sheila to reveal her palm, but Sheila captured Dante instead. She then showed her palm, which had healed magically, proving she had always been a werewolf. Sheila told Gavin he once killed her grandmother and vowed to hand Jennifer, Dante, and Michaela over to her pack outside. Enraged, Jennifer attacked Sheila with a beer bottle, knocking her out. Outside, Sheila's parents and relatives prepared to attack the cabin.
Now let her prove herself.
She's running. It's frenzy time.
Gavin tied Sheila to a chair and questioned her about the number of werewolves waiting outside. Instead of answering, Sheila began howling, calling others for help.
Three of them?
Gavin told Jennifer and the others to strike werewolves in the head or heart. Soon, severed heads of Clinton and Mark were hurled into the cabin, terrifying everyone inside. A werewolf arrived and killed Dante. Then the lights went off again, shaking everyone with fear. A pack of hungry werewolves circled the house, hunting the remaining humans. They began bursting into the cabin but were killed one by one.
One got in through the front window!
Kill it!
How? Over there!
Meanwhile, Sheila started transforming into a werewolf. One had sneaked inside and attacked Gavin, knocking him down with a powerful strike and gravely wounding him. Michaela and Jennifer seized the opportunity and stabbed the werewolf to death. Before dying, Gavin asked Jennifer and Michaela to turn around. Terrified, they saw Sheila in her true form. Sheila knocked down Michaela and turned her attention to Jennifer. Scared, Jennifer fell to the floor and Sheila bit her arm. Michaela captured Sheila and urged Jennifer to stab her. Noticing Jennifer had been bitten, Michaela aimed a gun at her and waited for Jennifer to transform.
That happened under a full moon at night. We wait.
Before leaving, Michaela set the cabin on fire. Holding Gavin's gun, she came out and got into her car. Jennifer was already inside. Michaela tried to start the car, but it wouldn't start. She hallucinated that Jennifer had turned into a werewolf but didn't hurt her. Michaela thanked Jennifer for being vegan and drove away, leaving the cabin burning.